Hello everyone and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a very special figure, and this is of a unreleased prototyped 10th Doctor with full articulation in his trench coat. Before I take a look at the figure and go into the behind the scenes stuff, if you are new here, feel free to help the channel out by subscribing for more Doctor Who content like this. So, a couple of weeks ago, a handful of these figures started to appear on eBay from the seller Tupop8688. Now, this seller is based in China, and by making a few educated guesses, this figure could have been intended to have been released in the 13th Doctor's collector set, where the figure that was actually released does resemble this, but this one is quite nice and it hadn't been seen up until a couple of weeks ago on eBay. Either that it was intended for the 13th Doctor set, or it might be for an upcoming B&M set, but to be honest, I don't think anyone has actually given any confirmation on the origin of this figure. Comparing this newer figure to the original figure from 2006, you can see the new version only seems to share both the legs and the head, whereas the rest of the body appears to be a brand new tooling. Taking a look at the detail and looking more closely at the head, this figure uses the original head from 2006, and to this day it looks like David Tennant. So you've got the floppy hair sort of on his forehead, and the hair is painted like the Tuxedo 10th Doctor was. So you've got the lighter browns, the darker browns, and then over the top they've given it a black wash. And it really does look nice. It adds a lot more layers to the hair, and it just makes the figure look even better. But taking a look at the body, so you've got the shirt and tie. This time around the shirt has been painted white, and the tie has been painted in a flat brown. So this is a new sculpt. It looks very different to the original release. And you can see the buttons, the creases, the lapels have all been sculpted perfectly, and the pinstripes have been painted on nicely with the blue. However, the suit this time around, it's painted in a more grey brown colour, which is a bit more accurate than the grey the original figure was painted in. And all of the detailing on the suit has been continued down to the legs, which, like I have already said, these are the same as all the other 10th Doctor figures, so the detail remains. But this time the Converse, they have been painted normally underneath, and then they've been given a darker wash just to bring out the detailing and make them look slightly dirty. But taking a look at the trench coat, so this is the big brand new piece. It looks a lot better compared to the original 10th Doctor, and actually having them side by side, you can just see how sharp the detailing actually is on this updated 10th Doctor. So you've got the lapels with the piping around the edges, you've got the 4 buttons on either side, and the buttonholes that have been sculpted in really nicely. You have a pocket on the hips either side as well, and especially around the arms, lots of creases and the lines that run down the back. And whilst we're talking about the back, putting these side by side, you can really see how sharp the detailing actually is. So you've got the lines that stand out a lot more prominently because the sculpting seems to be a lot deeper this time around, and the triangles at the top and the bottom of the central cut of the jacket. Taking a look at the hands, so the 10th Doctor's left hand is sculpted open, whereas his right hand is opened to hold a sonic screwdriver. And although it doesn't come with an accessory, most of us probably have about hundreds of 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver accessories, but it does fit very nicely into his hand. So taking a look at the articulation, so the head can move side to side but is slightly hindered by the actual sculpt. The arms can do a full 360 degrees and move out on a ball joint. There is also a bicep swivel this time around, and there's a 90 degrees at the elbow. There isn't any hand articulation, and I'm guessing that that's just because they're glued in rather than like the Tuxedo 10th Doctor where they're actually pegged in. There is waist articulation, but it is very stiff and almost can't move. It does move a tiny bit, but it is just hindered by the front of the jacket. And same with the legs, they can sort of move forwards, but both of them are slightly hindered. And there's a 90 degrees at the knee, but again, the jacket, with it being very traffic cone-y, it is quite hindered. And that's really it for articulation. Obviously, there's a lot more than the original figure, and you can get him in a lot more different poses, making it even better than the original release. And that's really all there is to say. I genuinely think this 10th Doctor figure is amazing. It's an instant favourite and has managed to knock not only all of the other 10th Doctor variants out of the park, but I genuinely think this could be one of the best Doctor figure releases. He looks fantastic with his companions, the monsters, his TARDIS, and the additional articulation really does cement him really nicely into his era. But what's next for this figure? Like, I really don't know. There's not been any confirmation on the origins of this figure, like I've already said. Was it going to be for that 13 Doctor set, or is this actually going to be for any upcoming B&M sets? But to be honest, I would love to see this figure again, especially in the blue suit and the spiky hair from Series 4. But, I mean, whatever happens, I'm just really happy to have this figure. If you have enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I also have a Twitter account and an Instagram account. All my links are in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you very soon for the Doctor Who Summer 2021 B&M sets. So until then, take care, guys.
Don't forget
to click below and subscribe.
Well, how could I possibly forget that? For goodness sake. You got the message, haven't you? Don't forget.